Okay. It's been a bit since I've played some other shit or anything single player, but I figure I would show at least some of what was going on with my single player this winter. Now, I've been playing a lot of Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries, which is the Mechwarrior game where you actually pilot a mech, kind of like an FPS game, as opposed to something like Battletech, where it's turn-based. And there's a lot bigger mods for Battletech if you're into turn-based games, but Mechwarrior 5 is a little more accessible and I guess you could say the mods are a little bit harder to come by, and some of these mods are Steam, some of them are Nexus mods. But the big changes that I like to run for this game is, number one, Coyote mission pack adds missions. All of the Yet Another Mech Lab stuff, but with the Sibley's YAML overhaul, which has more mech variants in it for the existing mechs in the game. Pilot overhaul for pilot perks and quirks and traits and training them and leveling them up. What's another one? The Scary Tanks mod makes the helicopters and tanks more dangerous. No tonnage limit, lower travel cost, no jump ship animations. Just a lot of quality of life stuff. More mechs, more weapons, more variants, and a little bit more difficulty. Coyote mission pack adds difficulty. The Scary Tanks adds more difficulty. And that's kind of where the weirdness of this game comes from. When you play the vanilla game, you have tonnage limits for missions, and that kind of artificially caps the difficulty, as you can only take certain mechs on a mission. Whereas with no tonnage limit and things like YAML, you can kind of run whatever lance you want, but you're going to be dealing with increased repair costs and things like that. If you take heavier mechs and you lose something fighting some little baby mechs, you're not going to have good insurance coverage or anything. So the whole premise of the game, for those who are completely unfamiliar, is you drop into a mission with 4 mechs. And you have a rolling payment that's due every 90 days, and you can pass time by literally going to a timeline button and skipping events like repairs and maintenance of your mechs that you get from dying, the mech exploding. One of the big things that is different from vanilla Mechwarrior is Yet Another Mech Lab adds a lot more options for modifying mechs, with things like special types of armor, structure, and heatsink mods that allow you to have a souped up mech. The vanilla game simulates some of this stuff like engines, whereas in YAML you can just take the engine out and I can put a different engine in with different amount of cooling, but you have to have a certain amount of external heat sinks, like actual slotted ones, on top of the ones that are in there, because you need 10 total heat sinks between the engine and the actual loadout. The cool thing about YAML is there's just more variants and more ways to configure your mechs. So you could take something like, I have this Cicada, and the Cicada by default is a really fast light mech, and it can't ever have full armor and an actual weapon payload. So what I did is I took the 320 engine, put a 210 in it, and then I could equip more guns into it. And there's hard points for guns, so there's only certain types of guns you could slot in, and they take a certain amount of space. Everything's weight-based. Armor's weight-based. Overall, with YAML and Coyote Pack, this game is pretty sweet. It has 4-player co-op, but everything's host-dependent, so if you're willing to have somebody have full control over your missions, your finances, you can set it up so that the co-op partners can come in and modify a mech. I think this was Tortoise's mech, so Tortoise was playing around with this thing, and of course he's hilarious. But what I wanted to show off too is the Battleground mission, and this is not a vanilla mission. This is from the Coyote mission pack that is on Nexus mods. Battleground is just this giant brawl of, there's pre-spawned mechs everywhere on both sides. So there's allied mechs and enemy mechs already in a giant fight right off the bat. And so when you pick missions in Mechwarrior, as you get rep with a faction, you essentially negotiate your pay for the mission. So you get a certain amount of points based on the level of your company and the level of your reputation. And this can be negative too if you fight. Your enemies won't really pay you crap. So by having more rep and having more level, you can end up with more money for the mission, and it'll show you a payout, and they'll actually cover your damage to some degree if you negotiate for it. You can get airstrikes. I do have a salvage mod that ups the amount of salvage from 3 to 5, which is like per pip. So instead of getting what would be like, I would get like, you know, instead of this being, it's a multiple of 5, it's a multiple of 3. So instead of getting 12 salvage, I'd get 25 salvage. On top of that, I think one of the YAML mods makes it so you can get, after the mission's over and you get all the salvage options, you get the ability to partially build a mech. You can like build a mech frame with no engine. So if I kill enough, say, Shadowhawks like the one I'm running right now, eventually I could craft a Shadowhawk with no engine, no guns, and a damaged armor, and pay a bunch of money to repair it. But it takes a long time. And then I have more modded settings. There's just so many mods for this game that I have to make it feel playable. It was, it's this. This is part of YAML, where they have some presets in here. I don't want to mess with it because I've got mine set up to somewhere on the Bonkers preset. Yeah, I've got the Bonkers preset, which is just... The vanilla chance is really good chance to salvage mechs, and you have a certain multiplier for, like, upkeep and installing equipment, whatnot. And for a while, I turned it on to, what was it, Balanced, which is the same mech salvage chance, but the upkeep costs more. And I turned it off onto Bonkers, which makes the upkeep 5 times higher and the installation cost for equipment higher. So that's where you can get a little bit of artificial difficulty. But I do turn off the partial mech salvage fee too. This is what I was talking about, where you get like a piece of a mech and you put it together. So if you get like 15 pieces of a Shadowhawk, you could make a Shadowhawk with no engine. When you turn this off, now entire mechs are salvageable based on the above rules, which are lower than vanilla, but still there. So like if you headshot a mech, there's an 80% chance you'll be able to get that mech appear in the salvage list and the after mission screen. So I'm going to jump into this Battleground mission with what is essentially a newer playthrough because I fiddled with mods so much that I was like, I need to start over. So these are only medium mechs. These are like 55-ton mechs. So this is kind of middle of the line for Mechwarrior. This is what I would guess you'd call the maybe the mid game. And the whole idea behind this Coyote mission pack mission here is there's 2 free repairs over there that repair your armor, but not the structure below it. And then there's friendlies and enemies fighting a bunch everywhere. So you don't want to overextend and fight too much, because if you get caught in the middle of everything, you'll get surrounded. Your lance will start dying. So when you bring your lance in, you just gotta like pay attention to who's focusing you and start engaging them. Like the Shadowhawk who's being aggressive towards my lance as they're trying to move up. And since I want this Shadowhawk, I'm gonna try and blow his legs off, which gives an increased chance for like actually getting this chassis at the end of the mission. Like this exact dude, the damage he has, could potentially be my loot for the mission. As long as my lance mates don't actually blow up his core right now.
Engaging lance focus.
So when the center of a mech dies, it explodes, and it also kills the engine, which is very expensive. And I want those engines, and I want those mechs. Or at least the choice to get one, because you can only get so much with the salvage barter at the end. So now I'm trying to get my guys to actually back up a little bit, because one guy's decided to go over the hill, and I didn't want that.
Requested location, Commander.
And everything seems to be going pretty well. So each part has its own health pool, has an armor value and a structure value, and you can't damage the real health until you get through the armor.
Focusing on issue target.
There's nothing that really pierces structure in the base game or in YAML. I know there's some in BattleTech mods, the other turn-based game.
Targeted mech is toast.
Target Vulcan.
I think the only problem with the modding community of Mechwarrior is one of the DLC updates broke a lot of the mods, so I feel like a lot of the modders kind of gave up on the game, so what it is what it is, and I don't think there's like a lot of active, hey, we're working on a bunch of stuff mods anymore. So, what is going on over here?
Getting into formation, Commander. Amazing, Commander. Nice kill.
What the
That's
fuck?
even going critical.
Okay, apparently he just died. And the lighter mechs are really annoying. They like to skirt around you. This is only a 20-ton mech in front of me. And it's one of the most annoying things in the game.
Tango eliminated.
Target destroyed.
Get rid of him real quick.
Target acquired.
What's cool about the Battletech, or not Battletech, the Mechwarrior 5 stuff is you can really fit your mech almost any way you want. I mean, obviously mechs have limitations and hard points, but
New target.
you can experiment and kind of mix and match between bigger weapon payloads and less armor, different types of weapons, and everything in the game can break and die. So the only thing that's a guarantee you have once you picked it up is the actual frame of your mech. If somebody blows up, say, my arm, or my torso or something, they can destroy the weapons that are inside of it. So I might lose these lasers, I might lose this cannon. You know, when mech explodes, it has no engine, which is the modded part. And I'd need a whole new engine, I'd need all new guns. Pretty much how to kill a mech is you kill both of its leg structure, center torso structure, its head structure, it's done. Or if it has no weapons, the pilots will eject.
We'll go. We're moving to you now.
You can individually control all your AI guys too,
Target destroyed.
which is nice. I mean, the AI is not the greatest in Mechwarrior 5, and there is an AI mod, but it conflicts with this mission pack mod, so I kept having crashes and I had to pick between one or the other, and I thought the cool missions would be way more fun. So now I don't know if these guys cleared up the other side of the map or not. Okay, definitely not.
Target acquired.
But it's nothing dangerous. It's all light mechs now. All the heavy mechs are already dead. Those guys are all a joke. So in this modded mission,
Moving to your 6, Commander.
they put a little prefab base in, and you get 2 free supply and repair. So when I hit up this repair, I'll max out my AC5 ammo, and it'll fix all my armor. But say if I had lost a limb, or I had some internal damage from people breaking through my armor, I wouldn't get any of that back. It's actually pretty nice. Because these missions can get really, really sloppy. Like, that was pretty good situation. I came into the match, and all the bigger mechs were in play right in front of me. So I was able to, while I was fresh, engage all the threat. One of the other things they added too that wasn't in the game at launch is you can cycle and swap between all your mechs.
Destroyed.
So I can sit here and look and say, okay, well, who's the most damaged out of the bunch? And honestly, I don't even care that the Phoenix Hawk, which is, I think, this guy, is damaged a little more, because I hate this mech. All its guns are on its arms, and arms don't have great armor, and I've watched those arms fall off like 4 times now. Whereas this Hunchback has been great to me. And one of the modded upgrades that's in Mechwarrior Online and in YAML is you can do the whole armor swap thing. So what I have is a structure mod on it, which makes the internal structure have, I think, more health and way less. But it's extremely expensive, so if someone breaks this mech, it's going to cost a lot more to repair. This was the one I was playing the other day, Tortoise Hop Den.
Urban mech. Target acquired.
So everything that's left seems like pretty much a joke. It seems like I should be able to to get the rest of these guys. I mean, some of the friendly mechs aren't looking that great. I mean, I'm watching one of them die right now. I tried to play this game with a hands-on throttle and stick setup, and I got it all working. And then sadly, there's like a game issue of,
Target javelin.
I think with the joystick I have of like drift. I thought it was actually,
Target destroyed.
I thought the joystick wasn't centered. So I thought it was a mechanical issue, and then I found out it's just a game issue, and you have to do auto hotkey scripts and stuff, and I was kind of bummed out. I wanted to go the full crazy experience.
Focus fire on commander.
Another mech that's really annoying. This mech in here. One's a spider. It's a, I think it's a 30-ton mech, and it likes to fly. It usually has really weak armament, but they're really annoying because they're constantly flying through
Tango
the sky,
destroyed.
and they have a really fast engine. I believe the Hunchback's a 50-ton mech. Not 100% sure. But this thing, I love the profile of this thing. Having a lot of weapons in your center of your mech is a lot better than having them all focused on your arms. But the cool thing about your arms is they're gimbaled. So like my chest lasers will just fire straight up, but my arm ones will actually go up to the sky, be able to hit helicopters, and that's represented by like these different icons. So I think the smaller icon is your torso, and the bigger one is ones that can actually look up. They ended up cleaning up everything for me, which is cool. So when you actually beat a mission in Mechwarrior, in addition to the payout you negotiated and any insurance damage is covered, you get the big salvage screen. So you'll get your base payout, and then you get presented with this. And the only thing that's modded out of this is these individual salvage pieces, which is it's one piece of salvage equals 5 tons of a mech, but I've got it set up so it's 3 times that. So, you know, a 20-ton mech normally would take 4 pieces of salvage, but the way I've got my difficulty set up, it's 12. So you'd have to have 12 of these out of your, 25 salvage shares. You'd have to get really lucky and have just what you want drop. But I don't know what kind of salvage I really want. I'm trying to grab Hunchbacks and Shadowhawks, and I might not even grab all this. I haven't even looked at what dropped. So that's not bad. So I'm gonna axe this. There's actually a whole mech up top, a dragon mech, that died really early in the mission that I barely even touched. Someone else killed. You can like skim through this. So this dragon mech, it didn't, I don't know what happened here and why he ejected, because he still has a weapon, and his engine's still there, and his torso's still armored, so he just, this pilot just panic ejected, I guess. And some mechs, they cost less than others, like this Hunchback has literally nothing left. It has, the engine's repairable. If it's yellow, it's repairable. If it's red, it's just gone. And it costs money to remove things in this game, too. So I'll pick up the dragon. Show you what happens when you've got your hunk of junk mech left over. It'll show like a whole damage breakdown, all your pilots, your total damages. So you can actually see if you actually made some money. So since I know some of these mechs only took armor damage, I'm just going to quickly, even though I'm in a combat zone with increased repairs, the map, anywhere where you can do missions, it costs more to repair. It takes longer. But usually armor's really cheap, so if your armor didn't get penetrated, it's best to just fix it up where you're at. But since this dragon is completely gone, I'm going to fly to a system, and in the systems you can hire pilots, you can repair your mechs on the cheap, and they tend to have more things for sale. Oh, wow. Okay. I wish I could see where the weapon hardpoints are on this. think you can buy these and then sell them back. I'm gonna try something actually in a minute. First, I'm gonna fix this dragon. So it will show you how messed up things are. Anything that's red is gone. So this laser's dead, ammo's destroyed, cannon's destroyed. So usually at that point, I remove all the other weapons and whatnot. See the cost of repairing, almost $1 million. Then I start looking at the engine to see, okay, how many heat sinks does this engine have? It has 10, so I don't need any more heat sinks. And then I have to try and figure out what kind of weapon I'm going to throw on here. And there's all different types. There's single fire autocannons, and then there's burst fire versions of them that fire a giant, FU ball of, crazy fire. I don't know how big this is. Apparently it's too big. It's critical slots. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I can't put an AC-20, so the best I can put in there is an AC-10. I think that's what it had. And you can place your ammo pretty much anywhere, but with the caveat that if the ammo is somewhere, oh man, really, which armor can this thing run? Put an AC-10. That's all I put in there is AC-10 and 2 pods of ammo, and it's already looking like it's full. And I don't really need this to be anything other than just a big cannon mech. I mean, I'm not really expecting a whole ton out of it. I don't need good cooling because most of the damage is going to be done by this cannon, which are low heat generation. So you'll get your whole work order, and then you'll get it in your timeline. And you can actually skip, if you want to, the whole 58 days, Jesus, till that's fixed. What I want to try out, actually, is I believe when you resell stuff back, you get the full value back. So I'll buy this for $7 million. And it doesn't sell for the same back, so it looks like I'm keeping it. But I really wanted to know where the hard points were for this, because oh man, it runs on double heat sinks, but it doesn't have any double heat sinks. So what this does is gives it double heat capacity and double cooling just off the bat. So this mech already is going to run way cooler than anything else, because that's the cooling heat per second, and it's going to have extra capacity. Only thing I don't like about the champion mechs is all their stuff is in their center torso. They don't have any arm weapons, so they can't get like a little weapon to shoot up at planes, because all their stuff's torso mounted. Look at this though. Man, it's got some weird armament to it. So this LB-10X AC is like it's like an AC-10, but it fires like a cluster of them. Instead of a burst, it's just a shotgun. It's a shotgun cannon. But I don't think I want to juggle between short-range missiles. So the cannon, the short-range missiles, and the lasers. So I'll go with something really basic like M lasers, those little green ones I was using in the Shadowhawk. I actually see I can fit an L laser on there too. It's got the cooling for it. It's just not great on armor right now, so I'm like... And that's where you have to make these decisions, like, do I want to have more armor, or do I want to have... do I want to have more armor, or do I want to have more guns? And ultimately, I want to have more armor, because I want my stuff to live. So this one comes with a... extra... What is this? This is literally, I'm trying to figure this out. Armor per ton. Oh. 12% more armor. Overall. So this thing will be really, really armored. And then on top of the armor that it comes with, I'm running it at what is essentially pretty high armor. Because the way the auto armor system works is it puts armor in the cores and your torso and stuff first, and then it focuses on legs. So it's actually a little bit... It's missing 10 armor per leg, but it's pretty much maxed out. So I'll run that with the LB10XAC, that is a handful to say, and 5 M lasers, and call it good. And now that will probably come up here, and I had one hunchback with the structure mod in it, so this is what I was talking about too. So that was the armor mod, but this is the structure mod. This actually reduces the amount of weight. It actually doesn't give any extra structure health. It actually just reduces the weight, period. And they have certain classes to them, so this is a medium one. It only fits in 40 to 55 ton mechs. So now I'll have a different lineup, but I'll have a different lineup essentially once that's done. So the next thing to do would be to fly back to an area that I think is a difficulty I want to tackle, which I'm level 7, and this is what, 5 to 8, so that's where I was at. And I see what I want to do. It's another mod mission type. It's attack and defend. And this is, once again, from the Coyote mission pack, which is pretty cool. This one has you going up against an enemy base while trying to prevent yours from being captured. And I don't think this one will be as hard, because I am going to run different mechs, and I have to figure out which ones I want to run. So I want to try the champion out first, actually, because I hated this mech before, but I had a standard one with, like, no weaponry. So I'll show the old loadout until it's done, but I can actually skip time in this screen. And the dragon will be fixed, and I'll put my best pilot in the dragon. Well, one of my better pilots. I have to figure out 2 more mechs, so it'll probably be the good hunchback with the structure mod, and then the one I was piloting last time, the Shadowhawk, because I can trust that one. And when you hit ready, you get a prompt that says you want to wait to start. You'll pass more time, which basically means you're just going to end up paying more bill money. Well, you pretty much have to for repairs anyways. And so you can customize the paint of all these mechs, and basically... Really? That was weird. I couldn't launch the mission. You can customize the paint all your mechs. There's a handful of presets. Like preset patterns. Your whole lance can be all color matched. You can give them the same paint job. Like, I don't even have a paint job on this champion or the dragon that I just added to the 4 that I'm dropping with. You have to bind custom weapon groups. So I always have my lasers on left click, cannons on right click. Chain fire makes it so instead of firing all 5 of these guns at once, it fires 1 at a time with each individual click so that I don't overheat something. You can actually make, if you have enough space, you can actually make a whole weapon group that isn't chain fire. Just to show you the difference. So when you chain fire them lasers, you'll fire them off and you'll see they'll all have their own individual cooldowns pop up. When I hit 3, I can fire all the lasers at once. But sometimes you don't really need that. Like, if I'm walking around and there's just like a little turd on the ground and it pops out and tries to kill me, I don't want to fire, you know, all 5 lasers for every single target. I never really understood the design of the champion mech because it's like, it looks like an airplane. And it really bothers me how much it looks like an airplane and why it has turbo thrusters on itself if it's a mech, but you know, I'm gonna roll with it. So your own base has a capture zone, and it doesn't matter if it's destroyed or anything. There'll be an AI guy guarding it, and maybe some helicopters and different turrets, like that's a quad PPC turret that defends that base. This will get attacked sometimes by like a big helicopter wave or an enemy dropship, so I actually... I'm actually going to tell the... I'm going to tell the dragon mech that I just fixed up to stay here.
Target acquired.
This difficulty doesn't look that bad. There's not that big of mechs.
VTOL inbound.
my god. I can't believe that guy was alive from that. Then mid-mission, you'll find these like little boxes that you can pick up for like a few extra credits or a spare gun. I know there's a mod to make these... There's a mod to make these have better loot in them. But they're basically freebies. They're nice early in the game, but later in the game you pretty much can ignore them.
Excellent find, Commander. Beginning recovery now.
Oh man, I hate this map. Tile set is, I think, from one of the DLCs. And the mechs do not path over it very well. And the heavier mechs tend to get more cumbersome, like churn rates and move speeds. And that's based on your engine too. Can't see anything because some pilot decided to crash into the ground. I hate using Wolverines, so I just will kill this. I don't know what it is against Wolverines, I just don't like them.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
I don't think I've ever used a crab mech either. I'm just chasing over here. Crab 20.
New target.
So the damage kind of transfers, so as you hit their left and right arms, it goes to their left and right torso. And then if you can get that far, that damage will get transferred into the center torso. So as things are missing, basically, you're slowly bringing all the damage into the center torso if you're not already directly hitting it. I forgot I have no arms. I just tried to melee this guy. See, this is that issue where I have, like, I can't shoot the cannon. Like, all the lasers are mounted to the torso, so when I want to fire up, that's as far up as I can go with this mech because the weapons aren't on the arm. So when you're in a mech that can't look up to engage helicopters, you kind of have to be careful because if you make a mistake in terms of, like, positioning and you have to stay where you're at, you'll have just this helicopter shooting lasers at you for all eternity. It's kind of like being in a tank in PlanetSide. It's a real great experience. Just Dalton all over your head. I think this mission's going to be a cakewalk, though. There's one of those little turrets I was talking about. They pop out of the ground and they engage you. They're not visible on your sensors until you're close. It's really early in the timeline in this game, so a lot of the cool, like, crazy modded weapons stuff just aren't there. But the thing about the Mech Lab weapons that are in the game, they're all ripped out of, like, Mechwarrior Online and Mechwarrior / Battletech lore. So it's not like people are just making up weapons and stuff. It's like, hey... Okay, that's a problem. Dropships are scary in this mod, okay? Because enemy dropships will land and drop usually really good mechs. So I'm actually going to have to turn around after clearing this field.
Moving into fire formation, Commander.
Threat eliminated.
So I'm trying to run back north because now I've got a timer. I got a minute and a half to actually be here, so... To push that enemy base with these slow mechs I have means pretty much everybody's got to turn around. That's the only unfortunate thing of playing this game, you know, solo and not with some co-op partners, is you can't have, like, a person in a fast mech to go respond to something or do an objective. You have to do it all yourself and then order the AI around. And you can only give them really crude commands like, go to this exact location, or follow me, or engage this target. Or hold fire, and that's really it. So I press F1, that's literally what I've got for commands, top left. The last time I had one of these dropships land on me was in a recon mission, which is another Coyote mission pack mission. I brought a bunch of 20-ton mechs. They dropped a dropship full of assault mechs, which are 80 to 100-ton mechs, and promptly killed everyone in my entire lance. That was on this campaign too, actually. Or this career playthrough. So I don't know where the dropship's going to come from, and I'm not even sure what size mechs they're going to bring, because usually when I've seen these, it's for the recon mission sending really bad things at you, or one of the other modded missions rescue, where you protect a friendly dropship. I've never had an enemy dropship on the attack defend mission actually land me, so I don't know what to expect other than... Okay, so it's not the big dropship pod, it's just a leopard. Okay. And that's the transport that I come in when I start a mission. It's just an enemy one.
New target, Vulcan. Target acquired.
Uploading heavy damage.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, I didn't want that guy's mech, so I just went right for the middle of him and blew it up. And rear armor is typically way weaker than front armor. You actually can't even slot more rear armor than front armor in this game.
Target destroyed.
I think as far as maximums go.
Target
Holy
destroyed.
crap. I don't even know what happened to that guy. He had still a good amount of health.
Moving into formation, Commander.
Let's see, two of those mechs were the same size as mine, and this mission was supposed to be a really easy mission, so if I was actually playing, like, the suggested tonnage, I would be shitting my pants right now, but I'm a little bit above it. Like I said, in the base game, you get all that freaking tonnage limits as the artificial difficulty, essentially. But with no tonnage limit and YAML and stuff like that, you pretty much... Every time you go into a mission with your heavier mechs, it's like a lighter mission. It might be a big waste of your time, like in terms of difficulty. Or it might be really bad, like I went into a mission that was supposed to be, quote, a cakewalk, and then watched a friendly mech die, then Tortoise died, and then it was left with just myself and a damaged AI mech with no arms, and him going, "You need to get out of here, dude." So, when you get to the mid-game, you get to a point where, like, there's 50-ton mechs everywhere. One 50-ton mech can ruin your day if you're not prepared for it. And that's what I'm in right now. I think I'm in a 60-ton mech, but still, it's like, the highest I can see in this, quote, mission is 55 to 60 tons, so I picked a mission type where the hardest enemies are going to be my peers, essentially. That's kind of like where I like to play at, because then you end up fighting a bunch of mechs that are, like, close to your loadouts and close to your firepower. But typically there's a lot of filler of, like, lighter mechs that you can just kill and blap. Because the loss while playing on modded difficulty where you lose a bunch of money means you need to take less risks so that you don't go bankrupt. And I spent half my money on this stupid thing, which I thought I could sell back for full value, but not really. So now I have to run this until essentially good parts on it break, like the armor or the engine. Holy shit.
Target acquired.
Forgot about those. Okay, there's actually a little bit more here than I thought.
If you find the acquisition, just walk up to it in order to...
Okay, that's not great.
Wrecked.
Target acquired.
Can't see anything because I'm being hit by so many PPCs. That tower up top is just wrecking everybody. Holy crap.
New target, Phoenix Hawk.
Here we go.
Okay, I spoke too soon. I'm telling everybody to go backwards. As I watch one of my
Destroyed.
non-useful arms explode off. I need to take control of something else. I need to be able to hit that tower all the way back there. Oh, it's this guy too. He's got an ECM jammer, so he's messing up my whole UI.
Engaging Lance focus.
I can't accurately get a shot on that cannon all the way on the other side of the map. Because this guy right here is jamming me.
Ammo depleted.
Okay.
Let's get that thing.
Okay, now,
Target acquired.
if I stop being hit by the fucking PPCs, I could actually zero this in. Take it out so that it stops blinding me.
Weapon destroyed.
Okay, he's out of weapons. Nice.
Target acquired.
This is not going great. So that's that whole wild card factor of this game is why I'm not on some mission that would be super hard difficulty if mech's bigger than me, thinking, oh, I can handle it. Because you really can't most of the time.
Taking heavy damage over here.
Critical. Weapon destroyed.
Ooh, that's not good.
Destroyed. Weapon destroyed. Target acquired.
This is not great.
We're moving in behind you, Commander.
I don't know why this champion AI was hiding. No matter what mech you're in, if you die,
Locust.
that's it.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
So if you're the pilot of a mech that explodes, you're done. The dragon's completely out of weapons, and the champion is, in not great shape.
New target Griffin.
Still being hit by that PPC cannon, that is insane. Might actually just completely die.
Damn it, how about some support over here?
How about you move over there,
Grid received.
out of the line of fire of all of the lasers of death?
At requested location.
Move order complete.
Target
Okay,
destroyed.
at this point,
Commander.
this mission has 2 free repairs. I hate to have to walk back, but right now, if I don't get these guys in tip-top shape, I mean, the dragon's probably going to explode. It's got no guns. I don't know why my own pilot won't just eject. Really going to regret that decision.
Ammo low.
Oh, thank God. That's long-range missile. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm still in it. A friggin' AI truck with long-range missiles took out that PPC tower. So now I just have to walk back my tail behind my back and cry and evaluate the situation of telling my entire lance to push forward and then realizing there's a cannon with a bunch of PPCs on top. So by grabbing the free repairs, I will get the armor back on the Hunchback that I'm in, and on the Champion, which still has guns. I think the other two are just void of weaponry. The Dragon is out of weapons, and the Shadowhawk still has an AC5. So I don't think there's
Moving in file.
any more like friendly mech waves or anything that are coming. And I'm supposed to be destroying that enemy base, but couldn't even get close. Okay, really? Get
Be
over there.
advised, cannot move to that location.
Shadowhawk's gonna get himself killed because he saw a target, he decided to engage. And he's being ripped apart by something. I don't know what it is, because it's not on, so. That was really scary. This was supposed to be a easy mission for me. This was supposed to be just easy money. And instead, this is gonna be like, I'm gonna have to be really, really, really careful because now I'm gonna have to manually tell the guys who don't have guns to
At
just
requested location,
hang out
Commander.
here.
Moving as instructed.
I'm just gonna tell them all to move there into the circle with the AI mech defending them. Actually, that's right. You don't get 2 free repairs. You get 4 in this. So I can actually repair the whole lance. But if they don't have guns and arms, I mean, they're about as useful as a TR medic at that point. Just cannon fodder.
System offline.
So this whole repair thing is only available on the Coyote mission pack, like missions too. So now I'll just run through and see who's left. Wow. Wow, there.
Located, Commander.
Okay, what was left of you?
Hold your waypoint.
Okay, the champion might not be in that great of a state. Honestly,
System
it's missing
offline.
it's missing the big FU cannon.
Requested, Commander.
It's not looking too great. Shadowhawk's also not looking too hot. He's I feel like he did better last mission when he had arms and guns.
Holding an nav point.
But
System offline.
to protect my bank account, I will actually repair this guy. Just so that he doesn't have his engine explode on him while I am gone. Also, same deal. The dragon, pretty hilarious right now. AI's a little wonky with these repair things. I'll have to probably manually swap and tell the guy to get out of the box, tell him to stay behind, and then hopefully no more surprises.
Holding a location.
Relocating to requested. Forming on your 6, Commander.
Okay, so I told the champion to follow me.
Station.
I told the guys without arms to, well,
At requested location.
hang out. And it actually looks like, for some reason, a couple of friendly mechs actually moved out, which is really good news for me because I was about to fail this mission if I didn't get any help, I feel like. And a lot of the events that happen on these missions are pretty random, and the mod creator did a really good job of making it so that you have no idea what to expect. So essentially, there's a Jaeger mech and a rifleman, which are 50 and 60 ton mechs respectively, I think, up there. And they're fresh, they're good, and they're gonna push that base and destroy my objective for me a little bit. And engage the mechs up ahead, which is great, because if I die, I don't get any of my payout. So we've got, you know, barely functioning mechs ready to support. I mean, I could always just sit here and wait and see what happens and be like, yeah, maybe they'll take the base on and do the objective for me, but it's usually a bad idea unless you're absolutely certain they've got the whole thing in the bag. And I don't know how many enemy mechs have spawned at this point, because it seems to be like an ebb and flow between. They're kind of paid to tip the scales. So I actually press Q to target these guys up ahead and just keep tabs on what's going on with them and see how screwed they are. And as long as the inside of their parts aren't colored and they're still blue, it means the armor is still protecting them. And they're still pretty good. I mean, the Jaeger mech's gonna probably lose an arm, but it's way better than doing what I did, which is walking up a narrow choke point into an automatic PPC cannon of death. While under a jammer, which not only makes it harder to see and aim, it actually gives accuracy penalties and reduces like missile ranges and things. And that's something you can equip on your mech. It's something I can actually gather as salvage. And it's actually on this guy right here. So hopefully I can blap him and it'll fall off like a loot box.
Target acquired. destroyed. Target
So
destroyed.
he'll eject, and then what the hell am I still being jammed by? Is it him? I'm still getting like a distortion effect. That's really bad. I'm really for them.
Payload acquired.
Yeah, it's showing the jam icon over my guy. And I don't, that usually means there's another mech with that jammer equipped, and I don't know where he's at.
Tango
I
down.
wonder if it still works while he's dead.
Acquired.
I've never really figured that one out. There's a bunch of little light tanks and stuff lying around, so I'm just gonna let those guys fight that shit over there. I kind of romp and stomp through the base, and you can crush stuff and slap yourself into walls. The biggest walls, actually, I can't push through. My mech isn't big enough, like these big concrete ones on the outside.
New target rifleman.
That's not great.
Target acquired.
So, there's a rifleman mech over there in the west, and I really don't know if he's planning to engage or not. I don't need to rush out and fight that guy. Like, you don't get paid for killing stuff. You might get salvage, but all I'm doing is risking my life by being close to him, and I'm pretty sure he's pissed off right now. Oh yeah, that's not great. Now,
Attacking target.
I need to tell the champion to attack my target, but not the whole lance. So I had to like do like a little finagle of commands. I'm trying to be really careful and try and use this little bit of a building that's left to get the AI to not try and shoot at me. My mech starts to overheat. Oh, he's got artillery things though. He's got thumpers. Those are a mod weapon. They're like long-range artillery.
System offline.
Okay, well I killed him and overheated my mech, so good times for me.
Target acquired.
It's too far away. The little M lasers only have a certain range to them. So now that he's dead, friendly mechs have kind of taken over, I can get back to hopefully destroying the rest of this place. Yeah, that's funny. That jammer mech is on the ground and dead. I didn't even know that was a thing. I haven't played a lot in the end game of this. I've kind of started my campaign over a handful of times and fiddled a lot with mods. I played it for like 35 hours, I think, when it first came out. On Steam, at least. But I put in like 50 or 60 hours in this game, just trying to get the mod settings and the difficulty right. And I feel like I'm in a good spot now where like stuff like this mission can actually happen and mess me up, and it's like a kind of a big deal. And the mod missions add a lot of difficulty. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck was that?
Weapon destroyed.
Whoa, ho, ho!
Acquired.
Why is there another one of those fancy turrets out there? Okay. At this point, I'm just trying to get off this map. So what happened is another one of those big FU quad PPC cannons was actually behind that base, and I didn't know. So as I came around the corner, I got my arm ripped off. So every single one of my mechs is basically completely trashed, completely garbage, and going to cost me way more than any amount I made on this mission by far. I have to actually assess the damage for probably like 10 minutes of just staring at the thing going, what's broken? The good news is none of these mechs died. So while oh man. Ooh, wow. Okay. It might be worth it in the end. Because I had some cool stuff drop. So that guy with the jammer actually dropped with a special lighter engine. The special structure mod and the ECM jammer all dropped as loot. And this hunchback that died actually got headshot is why he fell over. He was that one that died near the friendly base that I was like, what the fuck? So this hunchback actually is totally operational. Like, I could just fix the head. I could put a new arm on it, a new head on it, and it's basically pretty much good to go. This Phoenix Hawk, not so much, but it has a really cool engine on it, which allows you to, like, have, it's an engine that goes into your, side torsos, basically. Yeah, my total payout matched my total damages almost exactly. That's really hilarious. You want to talk about some reverse progress right there. Put some of these, because I don't have enough room for everything right now. I really need to put one of these urban mechs away. And look at the loadout. Show you this real quick. So, this engine, what it does is, they weigh a lot less. They weigh 50% less, but it requires slots to be filled in your left and right torso. So normally if your center torso dies, you're done, but with an extra light engine, or extra large, I'm not really sure what it is, if your left or right torso dies, the whole mech's dead. So normally you could be running around with just your center torso and legs and be fine, but if you lose this torso side with this, the whole thing is game over. It's an ejection for an AI pilot, and it's death for you. So. And at this point, it just begins the long journey of repairing and fixing everything that I broke. And looking at the mech market to see if there's anything worth buying. Yeah, that's Mechwarrior 5 with a whole lot of mods. Actually, gonna try and save and return to the title. And I know this is at the start of the video, but for those of you who are maybe stuck around for the whole thing, slowly go through this whole mod list, just so you can understand like what it is. Mod options. It kind of was giving me a warning, like, hey, you don't have mod options installed, so I just installed it, even though it seems it's built into something. This one was the extra mech variants and extra weapons, leveling pilots. YAML and YAML Mech Lab mechs are a prereq of this. Timberwolf Cab is a prereq of the YAML overhaul, and Sibley's YAML comes with the Community Asset Bundle and the Mech Bundle. Compatibility Pack is just highly recommended by everyone. The Mission Pack. This makes Happy Factions, makes the reputation gain a little less painful for fighting enemies. Compass Headings is just a compass. Salvage Shares is the 5 salvage share I talked about earlier. Scary Tanks is stronger VTOLs and tanks. And these three are just visibility, like these 4 right here. This is a big arrow on the map to see which direction your mech's facing. The throttle gauge looking different, a torso twist indicator, and the heat gauge going from... Normally the base heat gauge isn't colored, but this colorizes it. Unlock co-op tabs lets your co-op partners modify their mechs. No tonnage limit is pretty brain dead obvious. It means you can bring whatever mechs you want. And then the reduced travel cost, so it's instead of 50,000 per, play 10,000. And the jump ship animations are really terrible load screen you get rid of. And no friendly fire is nice so that you can't accidentally friendly fire. Can't remember what it was. So the player can actually do friendly fire. AI can't do friendly fire to each other or harm the player. But this mod prevents you from damaging your own mechs or other players in your co-op game. That one's really nice too, because, I mean, Honestly, there's already enough things trying to kill you in this game. Last thing you need is a, you know, cannon shot that was a stray shot. You know, all it takes is one stray cannon shot and you're dead. Yeah, that's Mechwarrior 5. I really enjoy this game. I can recommend it, but also recommend putting a lot of mods into it and looking up some stuff before you do it. Definitely makes it more palatable and enjoyable and increases the difficulty and whatnot.